Hey everyone. So, we're already at the season 5 finale of Voltron Legendary Defender with its 6th episode, White Lion. But this was quite an impressive episode. Continuing on from Lotor's beliefs in the mystical realm of Orion likely being a real place, he leads the team to take the castle to the Petrulian system, which has long been known as essentially a Bermuda Triangle of deep space. Ships go in there and never come out. And that's proven very quickly when they get there. It's just a graveyard of space debris from everyone who's ever arrived there. And they soon see why, because the area is mainly comprised of a white hole. In contrast to a black hole pulling in matter and energy, the white hole expels it, primarily in the form of radiation that shuts down spacecraft systems, basically, and thus leaves the crew to die. But they try to keep a safe distance with the castle, hope to send Voltron in with its, of course, like transreality comet materials, the quintessence that courses through it. But when they take a wormhole to the interior of the white hole, they find this interesting guardian spirit of sorts in the form of a white lion. And Lotor soon understands that it attacks those it deems unworthy, those who aren't true Alteans. So they quickly make their way out. Although, however, during the brief skirmish with Voltron, the Castle of Lions systems are heavily damaged, and including life support, the portable atmosphere, so oxygen use is now gradually decreasing. Maybe a bit of a time limit on this important mission. But in order to figure out what secrets Orion may yield, Lotor and Allura make their way in by taking some of the personal transports, and they indeed find Orion. This kind of idyllic natural landscape with plenty of Altean-inspired ruins throughout it. It's kind of tricky to describe because it's not incredibly distinct from all the stuff you might have seen in other like sci-fi and fantasy stuff, but it is pretty unique for this series so far. So in that way, it's at least an interesting change of setting. But with that, they explore the area they come across and figure out what they can learn. Especially since Lotor has long believed that King Alfor, in fact, had been at Orion and simply kept that travel a secret from the others, but used the secrets he discovered there to help him create Voltron. exactly describe sort of the trials and little journeys they make along the way there, but we did get the origin of why Lotor was banished for so long. That, along with, of course, his interest in the Galra Empire, Lotor wanted to explore, he wanted to learn about the universe. And connected to that, Zarkon gave him a planet to rule over for some time. But he didn't go the oppressive route. He cooperated, he kept an open mind. The quintessence operation he led there was sustainable for the people and the environment. And because of that change from Zarkon's view of things, Lotor was ordered to destroy the planet, and when he declined, he was sent away, and the planet destroyed as basically a harsh lesson in how Zarkon sees things in the universe. Pretty cool little story for him to tell, for him to inform us of. But it also does draw upon like some of the story and character similarities with Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, because that is very much Zuko's backstory, but on a smaller scale. So that was an interesting thing to connect in my head. Fortunately, not much on the Galra side of things. We get a look at Lotor's former generals. Unfortunately, I forget their names. Unfortunately, I kind of forget their names. It's been a while since I heard like their names distinctively mentioned, even though even in this one, their name dropped. Well, we get a little scene of them and their new operation with Hagar. Fortunately, it's going to be until the next season until we get even a follow-up scene with Keith and I forget her name now, but the Blade of Marmora ally that he's working to help destroy a Galra super weapon. Clovia? I think it's something like that. But even so, this was an enjoyable episode. Very cool, some cool imagery throughout, nice character development. And to look back on this 6-episode season, thought it was another impressive installment. Of course, stuff like writing, voice acting, animation, still very impressive, still at quite high standards. Compared to previous short seasons, though, I feel like this one might not quite hold up as like a viewing experience on its own. Again, I'm watching it episode by episode, so I can't give like a fully informed opinion on how a binge watch would be. But I feel like some of my like slightly lower marks for that aspect of the season is because of the big change in the status quo now with Lotor being the leader of the Galra and trying to take things in a more cooperative and peaceful direction. While there's still, of course, enemies to fight, mysteries to unfold. Compared to that, though, I think Krall's Era might be my favorite episode this season, though, since it was sort of the big signifier of how things are changing from the status quo. So yeah, like, granted, seasons 3 and 4 essentially were a third season cut in half, but with things like the origin story of Voltron and other stuff, those felt like they were pretty complete as just very short seasons. I don't quite feel the same about this one, but I still highly enjoyed it. So it'll be interesting to see where things go for season 6. Thankfully it won't be a very long wait. Still quite a while, but a little teaser video shown after the episode says it'll be coming in June. I'm guessing with 7 episodes to fill up the 13 episode number. So that's overall my thoughts on this episode and the season it's part of. So I guess I'll see you folks in June to talk about the next season, starting with episode 44.